morning, good morning. A little bit of a hysterical good morning this morning because I'm really tired, which is why I've got my sunglasses on because I look awful. Anyway, I've got an update for you this morning. We've just left our anchorage, which is over there. We woke up and we've got a neighbour. Someone arrived during the night. And the reason that I'm so tired this morning is that I don't always sleep well at anchor when I know there are rocks either side of us for some reason. Got a husband who just lies there and snores and he's fine with it all. But yeah, I think it just makes me sleep quite lightly. We were fine. We woke up this morning, the boat hadn't moved an inch. All our transits were absolutely fine. The alarm didn't go off. But I do have a couple of incidents to tell you about. First of all, our iPad has failed, which is major news. I mean, it's not the end of the world because we're going to have to go back to using paper charts and old-fashioned stuff like that. But it does make life really difficult for us, the royal us. It takes longer and it's just a bit more involved. We're hoping that we can get it sorted when we next get into port, but we'll see. Anyway, one of the consequences of the iPad failing last night was that we had a call from the Coast Guard. So I just wanted to talk to you about how amazing it is living in the UK and having these fantastic services. When we first started sailing, the system that was in place in terms of safety on long passages was that you would have to call up on the radio channel 16 and speak to the Coast Guard, and you'd have to give them all your information, basically the boat, all the boat details, where you were going, how many passengers on board, what time you expected to be there, and then when you got the other end you'd have to radio them back and let them know that you were there safely and that no one needed to come out and rescue you. Which was all very well, but it did take up a lot of manpower and unnecessary. Also, there were a couple of times when we forgot to do it. Quick, ring the boat Coast Guard. But since the introduction of the DSC radio, which is the digital one, that's now no longer necessary. There's a fantastic app that we've got that was organised by... Oh, he's looking at me. I think I've said something wrong. What? No. Oh, there was nothing to... It doesn't matter. They don't care about that. Such a pedant, honestly. And there's me trying to be all tech savvy and impress my listeners. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, there's this amazing app called SafeTracks, which was... designed, is that the word? Introduced by the Coast Guard and the RYA, the Royal Yachting Association, which is basically exactly the same thing, but you do it on an app. So you put in all your details and you let them know where you're going, and when you get there you say, I'm here safely, and there's no manpower involved. You just do it on this app, which is fantastic. You have designated people, which is hilarious because our two daughters are our designated people. So they get a text every time we leave on a passage to say, the Keens have gone off to X, Y, and Z. They're expected to be here at this time. And then we invariably get where we're going. We open the gin, we open the wine, we sit there in the sunshine. Not on this trip, obviously, but normally. And then we get a phone call or a text from one of the girls going, are you still alive? Are you at the bottom of the sea? Do we need to raise the alarm? Oh, crikey, we haven't cancelled SafeTracks. So because the iPad died last night and because we'd filled in SafeTracks on the iPad, we couldn't cancel it because we couldn't use that device. So we tried to do it on another device and it didn't seem to work. The girls knew that we were here safely, and so we thought all would be okay. What we didn't realise, which is totally amazing, is that those details had still been sent to the Coast Guard. So just before we went to bed last night, the Coast Guard actually rang one of the mobiles and said, really calm, really lovely, really polite, so amazing. Just, hello, this is the Coast Guard. You haven't closed off your SafeTracks, just checking that everything's okay. We explained the situation and obviously thanked them very much for their concern and for their time, which is it's just incredible. It's such a service, and so we just wanted to wax lyrical really about the amazing service that we get here in the UK, not only from the Coast Guard but obviously from the RNLI. We are so blessed, and those members of our family watching who are worried about us, you don't need to, because we might be idiots who forget to close off safe tracks and we do ridiculous things, but we've got some really, really talented professional people looking after us. And I hope those aren't famous last words. Anyway, I'll speak to you later.